calendars, clocks, files, and scenes. What are they all used for? Organization. One of the main things about making a game is being able to organize yourself before you go in too deep where you just have a mess of everything. For example, when you create a new game and you're not placing files in the right folders, everything can get messy very, very quickly. Personally, in my project, I found that naming conventions and having things in the right folders has been quite a challenge for me because what you're watching right now is a video of me having to move my models around in my scenes in a way that was really annoying and really boring because when I started working on the project and placing these models into the scenes, I didn't place them in the corresponding folders that they should have been in or the scenes. So now I have to fix that. Being organized comes in multiple ways. Inside of projects, the main way to stay organized is by your naming conventions. The best example of this in my project, which is like really just copied from Sebastian Graves' Elden Ring and Unity series, is the way scripts are named and used. For the base script for characters, it's usually stuff that is going to be used for every single type of character. So for example, like having health, having a stamina bar, or having like mana, if every character has it, then it's going to be on the character manager. And the best example of this is in anything that has character, AI, or player in it, which means that if it's AI or player, it's inherited from the character script. For the actual layout of where to put the scripts, all you really have to do is think about if the scripts would fall under a certain category. Like players, they fall under the characters, and then you make a players folder. Or menus, falling under UI, and then making a menus folder. This same layout theme is also important for scenes and animations, because in scenes, it allows you to find where each model is instead of looking through the sea of objects. But also, you don't have to rename these objects from what they were in the Unity asset pack. For me, animations are much more tedious because you can't use the same animation file twice. For example, for AI and players, there's almost always a lot of different animation events for each of them, so you have to always have two different sets of the file of the animation instead. And a lot of the time, this was a problem for me because I would accidentally use the same animation for my player that I was using for my AI or vice versa. And it was just so annoying, so you gotta make sure that you have two sets of the animation files every single time. Lastly, but definitely not least, organizing yourself depending on the time that you have is the most important thing in my opinion. Setting a time of when you're going to be working on your games every day can help. Although if you have a set schedule, sometimes it can feel like that you're just working on the game just to do it and like you're forced to do it. But really you should be just be doing it when you're feeling like doing it and having fun. Unless it actually is your job. Personally, to contradict that, instead of just having a schedule, I sometimes just straight up write down what I want to do that day, and instead of working for a certain amount of time, I can A, work on a scheduled time, but work on the thing I want to do. B, just do it at any time, but make sure I get that thing done. Or C, just work on it every day at any time, just making sure I get something at all done, so that I do some little amount of work. Organization can be a difficult task at first, but when you start to get good at it, it becomes quite rewarding to your game, but also to you not to burn out just from doing the mundane tasks that you would probably just be doing every day and like dreading to do them later and later and later. So really, it's probably the most important thing that you can do starting so that you start a good habit for your game.